How's it going, guys? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. Now, I want to let you guys know, over the last week and a half, I've been really testing out the two mics that I have in the games room here. I've got the Fafine mic that I've been using, and I've also got the blue mic as well. So what I'm going to do is, in a couple of days, I'll put out a video just showcasing the pros and cons, at least from my perspective, and I'll kind of tell you guys which mic I prefer. So it should be an interesting video. It won't be a long one. But yeah, the Yeti mic, that's what I have. The blue Yeti. So not that snowball garbage. So today what I want to talk about, a little bit of a rant. We're going to talk about the Xbox Series console and the PS5. You know, it's kind of like Bigfoot. You know, I keep hearing that these consoles exist. I hear stories that, you know, there's been sightings, but I myself have never really seen these consoles in the wild. Now, there's a bit of an asterisk with that. I have, not anytime recently, but I have come across the Xbox Series S console at Walmart. That typically tends to be the console that nobody wants. The Xbox Series X, I want to say maybe one time I saw it at, not Radio Shack, but we call it the Source up here in Canada when it first came out. I think maybe I saw it. I'm not 100% sure. But other than that, I've never really seen any Series X consoles out in the wild. And PS5, all digital, even the one with the disc drive. Never seen it out in the wild. Believe you me, I've gone to the department stores quite often. Not necessarily with the intent on looking for those consoles, but I'm just curiosity, right? Kills the cat. Anytime I'm in Walmart, obviously I head over to the electronics section and then I check it out, and lo and behold, you never see those consoles. So that's nothing new. We've all known about this for a while. You know, there's a few different reasons for this. The consoles are in high demand, highly sought after, especially by scalpers. And a lot of these retailers, even Walmart, the majority of their the sales that they generate aren't necessarily from in-store purchases, but a lot of it is online based as well. So it's kind of frustrating because by the time I actually get my hands on a Series X, because I don't really want a PS5 unless they revise the way it looks. By the time I get my hands on one of these consoles, there will have probably already been a revision out. Or these consoles will no longer be highly sought after. You might be able to walk into the pawn shop and find one of these. I can't even fathom walking into the thrift store and finding an Xbox Series console, but I guess theoretically, eventually, might take another 10 years, but eventually the time's going to come where that's going to be a reality. But as it stands right now, we're coming up on, what has it been, 2 years? Not quite, that these consoles have been on the market, and yet I still haven't seen any of them really out in the wild. And it's funny too, because I know things are kind of getting crazy up here in Canada as far as inflation is concerned, but over in the US, I keep hearing that you guys are headed into a recession. Yet that doesn't stop you guys from buying these big ticket items. So yeah, I don't know. It's funny, you know. There's not really a whole slew of exclusive titles to purchase on these consoles. Let's be frank here. Let's be honest. Most of them are cross-gen, and for the most part, these titles don't look dramatically better on the new consoles. So yeah, I don't see myself purchasing a new console anytime soon, even if they were widely available, which technically they are. It just depends on whether or not you want to pay the asking price. Because if I go onto the classifieds, I could fucking go out right now and buy a Series X console for $900, $1,000. And fuck, it probably would be worth it because you can't get one out in the wild. And if you tried to get one out in the wild, you could very well spend $100, $150, $200 driving around the province looking for one. But yeah, I guess I feel for some of you hardcore gamers out there that really have your heart set on a PS5 or a Xbox Series console, and you just can't seem to get your hands on one. And like I said, by the time these consoles, if they're ever readily available, by the time you get your hands on one, it's just like the excitement has kind of dissipated at that point. These consoles, I'm not going to say they're getting long in the tooth, but already, when you watch Digital Foundry, you're already starting to see the hardware constraints at play. A lot of these games, they're forcing you to either select this path of 60 frames per second or this path with the high quality graphics option. You can't have both. You can't have your cake and eat it too. So that's why I think, if there's a PS5 Pro model that comes out or an Xbox Series X Pro model that comes out where you can play these games with all the bells and whistles turned on, like the ray tracing and all the special effects, and have the 60 hertz or the 120 hertz or the uncapped frame rates, that's what I'm talking about. But to see these new consoles and they still can't do both at the same time, it's typically one or the other. You can barely call these fucking consoles next gen. Again, you can install an SSD and an Xbox One X. You can install an SSD and a PS4, and that will shave your load times in half for a lot of these games that have ridiculous loading times. Looking at you, Red Dead Redemption 2. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of rant about that. I know I'm kind of treading old ground here, but again, it's just like, would I like to have a Series X? I don't really need one, but fuck, it would be nice to have, right? But it's just funny. It's not like I can't afford one. It's just I can't find one. And I don't really want to pay 50% above retail just to be able to purchase one from a greasy scalper on the classified. It's just a principle, it's out of principle. I don't want to pay more than I should have to, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I kind of feel for you guys out there too that have these consoles, because you're basically trying to pick the meat off the bone, and there's not a lot of meat on that bone. And I do think a lot of it has to do with the economy right now. You think Sony's producing more PS4s because they're easier to produce right now, and it's harder to produce PS5s. I don't necessarily believe that. I think Sony probably forecasted a recession on the horizon, and they knew if they created more PS4s, they could sell them maybe at a more affordable rate. And like I said, when I walked into Walmart recently, there was a whole slew of PlayStation Platinum Hits or Greatest Hits collection discs on the shelves that looked to have been freshly printed right off the Sony conveyor belt. And this was absolutely not old stock. And I think that's what Sony is doing. I think they're mass producing a lot of PS4 games right now, because there's just a limited supply and demand of PS5 games. And there are PS5 games you can buy at Walmart. I see them all the time, but they're not anything to get excited about. Xbox, they've kind of gone the same route, right? When they release new games, like the new Forza Horizon 5, it kind of comes in like an Xbox One X case. It looks very similar, so you can kind of stick it on your bookshelf, and you can't really tell the difference between an Xbox One game and a series. It's all kind of the same. That's what they're going for. So, yeah, I don't know much else to say about that. Again, I've yet to really see these consoles out in the wild up here in Canada. I don't even think it's really worth looking for anymore. I don't even know if Walmart really stocks these consoles, to be honest with you. I think it's all online. Anyways, guys, I guess I'll cut it off there, right at the 11-minute mark. Let me know, guys. Let me guys know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.